Hi everyone, welcome back to my video channel Gigi Ongawa. My name's Deb. So this morning I'm filming from my garden. Excuse what I look like. I look worse than I normally would without any makeup on. I'm not wearing any makeup, I'm not wearing any skincare, I haven't even brushed my hair. I am pretty hot and sweaty because I've decided to do the couch to 5k. So I've downloaded the NHS app and I did the first session this morning, and then I was in the garden. I was running up and down my garden, and so I thought, oh well, I'll just record what I'm doing. Well, I wasn't going to record me doing the running, no. But anyway, I look foul. It doesn't matter. So I wanted to talk to you about why I'm doing the couch to 5k. I think I ought to just take a video of my garden, a bit of a video of my garden, and then I'll go inside and have a shower, and then I'll finish the video because I think nobody wants to see me looking like this. So I haven't even brushed my teeth. That's how foul I am. I haven't brushed my teeth. I haven't got a stitch of skincare. I haven't even got SPF on, which that's pretty bad because it's quite sunny, but it is very early in the morning. So I'm going to finish this now, and I'm going to go inside and get myself ready for the day. And I'll tell you, I think I'm going to talk about my fitness, my general fitness life, really. Not just now, because obviously no fitness life at the moment, hence the couch to 5k. But I want to talk about my fitness life and my life and how I've been fit at different times in my life, and what I used to do, my life really. And so I'm going to show you my garden, and then I'll come back later. There are some clematis in that rose. Let me move around so you can see it better. I'm going to go down there. Walking down a little hill. So these rhododendrons are in full blossom, full flower. Look at them. Aren't they gorgeous? Now, this bank here, we created that bank because you'll see this lawn here. We wanted to build it to play games, cricket, badminton, anything. So here's a snowball viburnum, I think that is. Looks stunning at the moment. It's full of big white pom-poms. So in this bank we've got lots of wildflowers. I think that's honesty. Yeah, I think that's honesty in the bank. I wanted to show you this lawn, how pretty it is. It's full of forget-me-nots, daisies, buttercups. So, and there, sorry, I'm panting because I've just been I've decided I'm going to do couch to 5k, and I've just been running up and down my garden. It's my first day, and yeah, so in this side of the garden, which leads onto some woods, you can see there's woods, I planted all these hydrangeas. I haven't cut them, I don't do anything with them. I just leave them grow, and they are growing. This is a tree that fell down. It's half fallen down in the storm. I wouldn't like to push it. So yeah. So this horse chestnut tree, this is a horse chestnut tree, and I think, hopefully, fingers crossed, we'll get lots of conkers on it this year. I think I've said before in a video, my brother grew this from a horse chestnut, and look, there's one little horse chestnut growing, and there's a few more. I'd absolutely love it if we got as many as that, but I don't think we will, because every year we tend to get things in the garden that like the taste of the things that we're growing. So anyway, I want to show you this because this is quite interesting. Okay, so I'll tell you a bit of the history of this, because initially we had a big tree over there, an oak tree, which fell down in the storm, and this garden was quite boggy, so we planted this willow tree. Before we even had a granddaughter called Willow, we planted that willow tree, and we planted this. This is a mess right now, but it is full of plants. But initially we wanted this as a bog garden because it was so boggy down here. And so anyway, so we planted this. Look at this great big thing. We planted this in by there, and then one year it just transplanted itself to a better place for it. And yeah, so there it is. Look how big it is, and look at those beautiful flowers that are now growing on it. Look at them. They look a bit Jurassic, I think. Gorgeous. So this isn't even the biggest leaf, but there's my hand, and there's a leaf. You can see it is huge. Giant umbrellas. You could probably use one as an umbrella if you absolutely needed to. Look at the stem on that one, it's huge. Anyway, so that's that. And these beautiful irises. Do they smell nice? I don't think they have a scent. It could be me, but anyway, I've got lots of these purple irises in the garden. Beautiful for a boggy garden. So we've got those. They're not flag irises. They are flag irises. They're not pond irises, whatever they're called. But yeah, they're stunning. And the rest are in towards the later summer. This gets cut. All these flowers in here are orange. So we've got lilies, and we've got other orange things which I can't remember the name of. And yeah, so anyway, this tree here, which is only it's only a stump. This is a sad story really, because this was a huge tree, and it blew down in a summer storm that we had. It was full of leaves. It obviously just got too heavy and it toppled over. So I looked out to the kitchen window one day, and it toppled over, and it reached right up to the base of that big tree, which, well, cross fingers, nothing happened to that. So anyway, so that was that. When my kids were little, they used to play in it. They used to call it old moss oak. It was really sad when it blew down. And yeah, so our fruit trees that I've showed you before in a video, they are, the flowers, the blossoms are now turned to fruits. So again, if we get as many, here's more irises. Gorgeous. That's down the rest of the garden. And yeah, I think we're going to have quite a lot of fruit on our trees. I'm going to show you the bed that I'm turning into a flower bed. So I'm walking so slowly because, well, not because of anything, I just am walking so slowly. It's a lovely day. So look at these pears. We've got lots of them on there. Lots. And got cherries. Lots of cherries. Yes, I'm going to turn this off and then I'll come back in a minute. So got more, I think, cherries on there as well. And this is the garden that I'm building. So there are the sweet peas. They're coming along. I'm going to have to put another wire sort of at this height. There are some other flowers. Well, I'm going to be interested to see. I think the seeds that I planted don't seem to be coming up at all. There's a lupin. I think that's a gem. Is that called a gem? I'm not sure. Foxglove. Hello, Mr. B. Hey, gorgeous. Are you doing your job? Yeah. So that's what that looks like now. And these my husband cleared this. I think I've shown you this before. It was a bit of a mess. So they're the raspberries. These are gooseberries, and you can see there's one growing, and there's blueberries, they're growing too. I was a bit concerned that we wouldn't have many, and I don't know if we're going to have as many as we usually do, but we do have a few. And there's another gooseberry bush. That's got a couple on as well. And there's another blueberry. These blueberries look quite tiny. So, yeah, so it looks like we'll have some. And then obviously that's the cherry. And then here, this is the white lilac. And I think, have I shown you that before? Maybe. Anyway, this is all the lilacs are nearly at the end. It does still smell nice. It smells lovely. And that's a tree fern. And my husband bought me that for my birthday one year. So, and this is another oak. That's the thing with having that old oak. You've got little oaks growing all over the show. Oh look, some little tiny strawberries. Probably not going to eat these strawberries. And in fact, something else is probably going to eat them, because I talked before about the cats. This is a lovely, pick that. I like to pick that and give it a bit of a sniff. I love that. And then, yeah, this is our hydrangea. Lovely. Lovely shrubs. That's another honesty, I think. And then here, look. Beautiful peonies. Peony, yeah. They're lovely. They're so heavy that they knock over the shrub. So that's that. The yellow shrub is unfortunately... Hello, Catty. It's okay. One of the cats. And this is something I'm really got to sort out. This pond is a real mess. Anyway, so yeah, that's. Oh, I want to show you. I want to show you some roses. There's pink roses. They've bought those roses for my daughter's wedding. And there's gorgeous yellow ones as well. They're in pots now. I put them in pots. And yeah, so they're gorgeous. They smell divine. The yellow one smells quite rosy and the pink one smells quite lemony, which is quite strange anyway. So yeah, that's the garden. And I'll talk about it in a minute. Oh, I can't wait till this bursts into flower. Look how many beautiful flowers are on there. Hi everyone. So I recorded that yesterday, and this morning I've had an appointment for my an eye problem that I've got at the eye clinic at the local hospital. So I had some tests which I'll have the results of back in about 6 to 8 weeks, and yes, I'll wait for those. My eyes are fine. I just have to have these tests every year. So on the way back we stopped in. My husband took me because parking at the hospital, as you can imagine, every hospital is usually quite busy. So on the way back we stopped at a local bakery, or cakery as it were, called Pixie Cakes, and we bought a couple of little cakes, and I bought these flowers. Look how pretty they are. They're from Petalica Flower Farm, which is a flower farm, a local flower farm, and these flowers are dried flowers. It's just a little bouquet, and they're so pretty, and I'm going to keep them in this jug, in this little purple heart jug, which I think is quite nice. I thought they went quite nice with my napkins that I've got in here, which I think that looks just pretty. Anyway, obviously they're going to last longer than the napkins do. So yesterday, obviously, was my first day of couch to 5Ks, and it didn't go well. In fact, it went pretty badly. I just can't run anymore. And you might think, well, who can run at your age, sort of thing? And I think, well, I exactly. Can people run? Can I just not run? Anyway, I'm going to give you a brief health synopsis. So, years ago, I'm going to start from when I was at school. I'm going to talk about what I used to do when I was at school. So when I was at school, which of course was more than 40 years ago, I was quite athletic. I was in the athletics team. I did relay hurdles, and I played hockey. And then after I left school, I played hockey for a local club. And I wasn't in the first team. I think I was in the second or third team. I mean, we were all right, but it was just for fun. It was just an after work thing that I used to do for fun. And then I played tennis as well, and I played tennis until I was in my early 40s. But of course, that was 20 years ago, and so I haven't really done anything apart from walking for quite some time, and certainly nothing that requires me to run anywhere. And then when Willow, my granddaughter, was a baby, she couldn't run faster than I could walk. So there was never really an occasion where I felt like she was going to get away from me. But River's a different kettle of fish, and he likes to run away. He always says, "Run away!" and he charges as fast as he can. And I'm at the point where I can barely catch him now. So I thought, I better run. I thought, well, I can't run. So I thought, well, I'll do couch to 5K. So I started doing it around the flat lawn in my garden, and I don't know, maybe I'm going to have to do it somewhere else, because it was a bit damp. I'm not saying that it was wet. It wasn't wet, but it wasn't an ideal place to run. So I'm going to because on couch to 5K, the first day you run for a minute, walk for a minute and a half, run for a minute, walk for a minute and a half. I think, well, first of all, you walk for 5 minutes, then you run for a minute, then you walk for a minute and a half, then you, etc., for, I think, 12 minutes, or you do that 7 times. You repeat the run walk for 7 times, and then at the end you walk for another 5 minutes, a cool down walk. So you've got a warm up walk and a cool down walk for 5 minutes each end. And so yeah, so I'm going to see how that goes, but I really I need to do other exercises too. If anybody does other exercises which are suitable for somebody who wants to start doing exercise, put them down below. Let me know, please. And so yes, that's what I want to do. And also I was thinking about, I've made no bones about the fact that I'm not interested in going on a diet or dieting or anything like that. But I am very aware that when you get to this age, you've got to be more not be more sensible. You've got to take more care. You've got to take more care with the things that how you eat. And I have been trying to do that for a while. You know, like eating mostly protein and veg, like protein and fibre is really the things that, says I, who's just said that I've been to the cakery to get some cakes. So anyway, have a drink my tea. But I've recently seen a thing. I've been getting ads for a thing called Slimpod. I don't know if anybody's heard of this. If you have, please let me know your experience of it if you've done this. So essentially what I think it is like a thing that you listen to, and I think it's a hypnotherapy thing, but it says that that the NHS, I don't know if they promote it or they agree with it or whatever. Apparently it's this Slimpod thing, I think it's like these recordings have been made by, it says, I think, a Harley Street doctor or some doctor. So, and you listen to it and it helps your brain to make the right choices. And my problem is this: making the right choices in terms of what I eat or what I do is not actually the problem for me. What I find is the problem is that in order to maintain a lower weight, I'm not even talking about a low weight, I'm talking about a lower weight, I found, and I don't know if this is because I've had such a history of disordered eating, like a disordered way of eating all my life. I have to eat very, very little. And as soon as I go over that sort of amount, I just pile on the pounds. So I've spoken before how I can't take any weight loss jabs because that's contraindicated with a previous health issue that I've had. So, but I'm thinking about this Slimpod, and apparently it's, I think, £39 for 3 months, and then you have them for life, these recordings. So I'm thinking of maybe doing that. If anybody's got an experience with that, let me know. If not, I'll make up my own mind and I'll maybe do that. So yeah, so that's really all that I've got for this week. Yeah, bit of cake talk, bit of health and fitness talk. Oh, I did want to talk about what I'm reading. So I've read. I am part of Once Upon a Book Club, which is a book club ran by Karen of the Geordie Grandma and Karen on Books. And her book club is called Once Upon a Book Club, and that's on Facebook. So there were 3 books that have been mentioned on there that I've read. So one of them is Master of the Game by Sidney Sheldon, an old book. It's not the first time I've read it. One of them was called Ghosted, and one of them was called, I don't know, I'm going to have to look this up before I tell you about this. Okay, so these are the books that I've been reading. I want to show you these because these are books that my husband got me from the US. He's just got back from the US, and while he was there, I asked him, he asked me if I wanted anything. I didn't really want anything, but I thought, well, I kind of needed a reminder that lately of things that have been going on in the US. I know it's got nothing to do with me, and it's got nothing to do with anybody who live in this country. Well, it kind of has, because what goes on in other countries affects everyone everywhere, doesn't it? But I kind of needed a reminder of of humanity, that people, of the humanity of the everyday people that live in the US. So I asked him to get me some books, and he did. And I asked him specific books. So I asked him for these two specific books, and one of them is this New and Selected Poems by Mary Oliver. Well, I asked him for a Mary Oliver poetry book, and he got me this one. And the poem that I really wanted is in this book. And yeah, so he got me that. And he got me this, The Essential Wendell Berry, The World Ending Fire. So he got me those two books, and the book that I've been reading on my Kindle, which I was recommended, well, I wasn't recommended, they were recommended to anybody who wanted to read them, was this one, Ghosted. Oh, it always does that. By Ghosted. Oh, by Jen Ashworth. I've read that one, and If Tomorrow Never Comes, which that's another one that I'm reading, which was recommended by Maureen from Once Upon a Book Club. So I've read those, and I've also, and then the Sydney Sheldon, not Master of the Game, The Other Side of Midnight, not Master of the Game, The Other Side of Midnight. Yeah, so I've also read I've read these. One's called Dare to Love Me by Rosa Lucas, and that is just some light-hearted story. And The Matchmaker, it's just a light-hearted, I want to say drivel. I mean, it's not drivel, but it kind of is. So it's something that I can read in the middle of the night when I wake up and my brains are buzzing. So yeah, so they are the books that I've read this week. And yes, so that's my plan. Do the Couch to 5K, try and get onto a better, like a more consistent way of eating healthily, and yeah, carry on reading, carry on doing crafts, carry on doing all the things that I have. I just want to say as well, oh no, I'm not going to say that, but maybe that's something for next week. So please subscribe if you want to, don't if you don't want to, but I would appreciate it if you did. And thank you very much for watching my videos if you do. And yeah, hit the notification bell if you want to watch some more, and then hopefully they'll be, do whatever YouTube does and you'll get to see them. Thanks very much. Bye.